I can't stand up fully. I have to get next to you like this because otherwise I'm not going to be in it. Hello, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Gabby.
Today we're going to be doing the books and makeup tag. What's fun though is I already have my makeup done, so I figured I might try to replicate the makeup look on Gabby. I don't do my makeup in the order that the video says to do your makeup, so we're just gonna go with it. I do eyes first and then the rest of the face.
Primer. Pick a book that left a lasting impression.
Primer's really important when you're going out because your makeup might melt off your face.
The Hunger Games. It's the first young adult book that I ever read. I think I read it when I was in 6th grade, but it's definitely what kind of got me into reading novels.
It's gonna sound like a really weird answer, but Beautiful Creatures, the book that Gabby and I read, and then we were like, let's see if anybody on YouTube has ever reviewed it. Found out that Christine had reviewed it. Beautiful Creatures kind of helped us like realize that there was a booktube community out there. To narrate what I'm doing right now, before I do eyeshadow, I always put concealer on my eyelids so that my eyeshadow doesn't absorb into my face as the day goes on, because that sucks.
Foundation. Pick your favorite first book in a series.
I don't do foundation until after I do eyes. We're doing eyes right now, and then foundation later.
1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. I really like it. They have really pretty covers. I chose this one because I really enjoyed the premise. It's not something that I had really read a lot about before.
Pretty covers, so yeah. What did you choose for this one?
The Lost Hero by Riordan. If you've been around this channel for at least a week, you will know that I read The Lost Hero. Loved it. Currently reading the second book.
Time to do the eyeshadow.
Concealer. Pick a character you wish you could get rid of. We did books instead of characters. Unwind by Neil Shusterman. I had to read the sequel to Unwind.
Which is dumb.
I mean, I obviously wasn't gonna read the sequel without reading the first one, so I read the first one. I just don't like the premise. I feel like the person who wrote this book doesn't really understand the true argument of pro-choice. I feel like they think it's pro-life versus pro-death. The whole premise of the book is really unrealistic and dumb. In conclusion, I hate it.
What I do with eyeshadow is I first pack in a really light shade into the crease from the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia Beverly Hills onto her eyes. Buon Fresco. Yes, The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey, because The Fifth Wave had so much potential and was such a good book.
Why are you delivering this like John Mulaney?
I love John Mulaney. I wish I was John Mulaney. Take a slightly darker color and apply it to the crease as well. All Star from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I didn't like The Infinite Sea. The series had so much potential. The first book was just so well done. The Infinite Sea was infinitely shorter, and it just didn't feel like it lived up to the hype and goodness of what the first book was. So I would delete it, because the first book could have honestly just been a first book of a single book. Take a slightly larger brush and just blend out her eyeshadow a little bit.
Powder. Pick your favorite last book in the series.
I don't use powder to finish off my look because I feel like powder makes me look really, really cakey. Instead, I use NYX Matte Finish Spray. It's just a setting spray, and it helps hold everything together and prevents me from literally dripping my makeup off throughout the day.
Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. Just as a whole, I really like the Cassandra Clare books, but the Infernal Devices trilogy, in my opinion, is the best of all of them. Really enjoyed this trilogy. Also enjoyed this one, except for the epilogue. The epilogue can go itself.
Winter by Marissa Meyer. I adore this series. I love retellings so very much, but Winter was just a very good wrap-up. This was like 800 pages of beautiful awesomeness, and it wrapped everything up really nicely.
Eyebrows. A book that you think everyone should read.
Take a darker color from the Modern Renaissance palette. It is called Love Letter. Go into her outer crease and just kind of brighten things up a little bit. So close your eyes, ma'am.
The Giver by Lois Lowry. I think it's an important book to read, and I had to read it for school before I even read The Hunger Games or anything else.
The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, because I absolutely fell in love with this book when I read it. The prose is so unique. I've never read anything like it. It's got a beautiful narration. It's a beautiful story.
Eyeshadow. Pick a book that has your favorite colors on the cover.
Wow, it's what we're doing right now.
Don't lick me.
What I'm doing now is shimmery eyeshadow. I feel like it helps open eyes up. Sometimes I do a halo, sometimes I do a cut crease, and sometimes I'll just do like the inner area. Right now I am concealing her inner eye to like the middle of her lid, just so that I can put some shimmer like I have on my eyelids right now.
Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. It has a lot of like blues and greens that I like, and it also has a red truck. Since I was a tiny little child, I've always said that red was my favorite color. And even now that I'm starting to like blues more, I still love me some red.
Whenever I do foundation, I use liquid foundation just because powder foundations get really cakey. I use this beauty blender blender, which sorely needs to be cleaned, and I use It Cosmetics CC Cream in the shade Light. We Are the Ants by David Sean Hutchinson. I absolutely adore the covers. Blue is my favorite color, will always and forever be my favorite color, and it's got those beautiful rich blues that are hinting at greens, and it just fades out into yellows. What I'm doing right now is taking concealer in her T-zone. Well, technically it's my foundation, but I'm using it as concealer on her because it's a little bit lighter than her skin, and what you're supposed to do for concealer is like one shade lighter than your skin tone. I'm taking it in her T-zone right underneath her eyes to cover up any bags she might have because neither of us sleep. Well, I sleep, but she doesn't sleep, but I feel like I don't sleep, you know. I'm also gonna go underneath her chin just because like we like to brighten up these areas. You know how it be.
How it be, colon, like that sometimes.
That was dumb.
Thank you.
Eyeliner, pick a dark and mysterious book.
As far as eyeliner goes, I suck at it.
Wing Poppy Midnight, I read that one recently. Honestly, I don't read that many like dark books, but Wing Poppy Midnight, at least for like the first half, I was just consistently like, what in the world is going on? I liked it, I just thought it was kind of strange.
I'm gonna do Sparkle on her lid. Vermeer from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, because I have like a really intense obsession with Criminal Minds, and this book is basically Criminal Minds but for YA. Now I'm gonna use Red Ochre to kind of just like blend out the edges of this real quick.
Mascara, pick a long book.
For mascara, I use Too Faced Better Than Sex. It's amazing.
Oh god.
Oh god.
I feel like we both have to focus for this part. City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. Quite large. 725 pages.
The Host. I read like the squatty paperback version of it, so at that length it was like almost 1,000 pages. Now I'm going to be doing some contour slash bronzer using the It Cosmetics You Sculpted palette. I'll get some on my brush, pat it up against like any shelfy surface I have so that I get the excess powder off. Mostly I work in a parentheses shape motion from inner forehead to cheekbone.
Blush, pick a book that had some cringeworthy romance. Divergent isn't cringy as in like embarrassing, like oh y'all are gross, stop. It was cringy as in like they didn't really show any affection for each other. They felt more like business partners who make out sometimes. You know how it is.
Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. Despite absolutely adoring the Lunar Chronicles series, I think that Scarlet and Wolf's relationship very intensely resembles Bella and Edward's in Twilight.
I could eat you. I don't care. I love you.
Okay, I guess, if that's what you want to do.
Highlighter, pick a book that brightened your day. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is forever my favorite contemporary novel. I can't remember when I first read it, but I've read it several times since then. I actually owned 3 different copies of it because they keep doing like special editions in different pretty colors. This is one of my favorite contemporary books ever. I really like it.
Now that we're on highlighter, I'm actually doing highlighter. This isn't actually a highlighter though, this is an eyeshadow. It's Stila in the shade of Kitten. I really love blinding highlight. I don't really care about blending it. You'll probably be able to see it in the light. Yeah! I take it in the same parentheses kind of shape that I do with the bronzer, but I do it above, a little bit above the eyebrow and a little bit into the cheekbone. Same thing over here. Go into the brow bone and just highlight the brow bone a little bit. I don't usually do eyebrows, and if I do them on myself with a little bit of eyeshadow. I fill in with eyeshadow instead of actually using an eyebrow pencil. So we skipped that, and I don't like to do eyebrows on other people because I feel like that's a very personal thing. On the tip of her nose. Also like to just brush it above the lip. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, absolutely fell in love with it. One of those books that made me want to go out and do more things and accomplish more things in life. There's just like a cute little romance in it that I really, really enjoy, but again, it's also a book about like friendship. I'm a sucker for really well-developed friendships in books, so I really, really enjoyed that one. Yay!
Lipstick, your favorite book kiss. Fangirl again. I really love Kath and Levi's relationship. I really like their first kiss. I think it's really cute. I think it's really well done and well developed, so yes.
Can you pucker your lips for me, ma'am?
So, stop it. Oh god, I got my tooth. Pucker your lips.
That's Gabby's lipstick. Doesn't she look great? Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe
The
by...
second one, not the first one.
Lovely and wonderful, and if you've read the book, you understand why it's super important. That was the books and makeup tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed doing Gabby's makeup. I really love doing makeup, so like if you enjoy this video and you want to see more makeup tutorials, I can film some for myself. If you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments below. I'm Maddie.
I'm Gabby.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I'll see you next time. Bye! That's one of Gabby's eyes. Look at me, Gabby. Wow. That's the other of Gabby's eyes. Wow. And that's just her face. She's a beaut. Can we tell if that highlight is popping? That highlight is popping. It's reflecting all of that camera work.